I have to start today with something very, very serious. Any normal person would say, after looking at the list of nominations to the forthcoming Trump administration that we talked about yesterday, Tulsi Gabbard to Director of National Intelligence, Pete Hegseth to Secretary of Defense, Matt Gaetz to Attorney General, any normal person would say, how do you get Matt Gaetz confirmed to AG? How do you get a Fox News host confirmed to Secretary of Defense? One way is by becoming a dictator. And this is really red alert stuff. Ed Whelan, I don't know how he pronounces his name, it's only one E, Ed Whelan, works at the Ethics and Public Policy Center. And here's what he posted about the plan. This is how it could be done. He posted, quote, "Hope it's wrong, but I'm hearing through the grapevine about this bonkers plan. Trump would adjourn both houses of Congress under Article 2, Section 3, and recess appoint his cabinet." Continuing, as predicate for Trump's exercise of adjournment power, one house of Congress would seek the other house's consent to adjourn and be denied. So Speaker of the House would need to be complicit in the evisceration of the Senate's advise and consent role. House Speaker Mike Johnson needs to say no to this right away. We know that Donald Trump is indeed thinking about doing something like this because he posted to Twitter right after last week's election, quote, "Any Republican senator seeking the coveted leadership position in the United States Senate must agree to recess appointments in the Senate, without which we will not be able to get people confirmed in a timely manner. Sometimes the votes can take 2 years or more. This is what they did 4 years ago, and we cannot let it happen again. We need positions filled immediately. Additionally, no judges should be approved during this period of time because the Democrats are looking to ram through their judges as the Republicans fight over leadership. This is not acceptable. Thank you." This may be the plan. You might say Pete Hegseth could not make it through a confirmation hearing, except if they do it as a recess appointment. Now, here's the thing. This mechanism, Article 2, Section 3, is so rarely used that its invocation would be extraordinarily controversial and it would be extreme. And what Trump wants to do is exploit these rarely used powers to directly contradict what was the intent of the founders. The founders established the separation of powers for a reason. And using Article 2, Section 3 in this way creates a constitutional gray area. And even that may be putting it lightly. It's untested territory, meaning it would be challenged immediately in court. But as we know, I mean, I'll just be honest, these legal gray areas have not really scared Trump. And the legal gray areas have never really hurt Donald Trump. The real question is how long would it take the courts to strike it down and whether the damage would already be done. Now, if this plan sounds like it belongs in an autocracy rather than a democracy, that's because it's exactly the sort of thing that autocrats would do to try to consolidate power in one person's hands. Trump gets to choose, but the Senate then gets to vote. Well, how about recess appointments? Just put all the power in Donald Trump's hands. This isn't normal. We're hearing about things on the fringes of legality and constitutionality. Trump's allies are testing the waters for the sorts of things we would normally associate with authoritarian leaders abroad. But Trump is enamored with those leaders. It's not hyperbole. Trump is never impressed with the leaders of our Western democratic allies. And Trump is regularly impressed with Kim Jong-un and Putin and the whole list of them. If Trump or anybody else can just sidestep Congress in this way, what checks are left? If Speaker Johnson allows this, he throws the Senate's role into the trash, and that's why it is a red alert moment. If the power is abused, the precedent that it would set for future presidents to exploit is terrifying. And it's not alarmism. It's not hyperbole. This is the legitimate threat to our democratic norms. We were told saying Trump doesn't respect democracy is inciting violence against Trump. And of course, that wasn't true. But using Article 2, Section 3 to recess appoint your entire clown car cabinet is circumventing democracy as intended by the founding fathers. If you care about democracy on either side of the aisle, you should be paying attention to this. This is why it's not a good idea to let people who tried to circumvent democracy to become president, even though they lost. It's not a good idea to put those people back in the Oval Office, and it's what the American people did. I said this yesterday. I'm going to repeat it. I expected it to be bad. I expected it to be worse than bad. I did not expect it to be this bad. And if you're worried about recess appointments, I have to tell you what Trump's thinking of doing with the military generals. Men in the audience, this is for you. One of our new sponsors is Integrated Men, an online support community dedicated to helping men reclaim their power, break free from outdated masculinity norms, and find purpose. Integrated Men hosts weekly meetings that guide men in overcoming shame and self-limiting beliefs. If you feel lost, stuck, or like you're just trying to please others at the expense of your own happiness, this community can help you break free. It's not about pretending everything's easy. It's about embracing the chaos, facing fears, learning how to live with real integrity. They help men confidently into their purpose, to stop seeking validation from others, start leading your own life. The community dives into everything from setting boundaries, developing emotional resilience, understanding the 4 archetypes of mature masculinity. It's deep, it's practical, and most importantly, it's effective. If you're ready to step up, move past your old habits, live a life driven by purpose, not fear, I highly recommend checking out Integrated Men. Go to integratedmen.net/Pacman to learn more and check out my interview with Adil, and check out also the quiz that is a short assessment for taking that first step. The link is in the description.